Straight into business. Stephen is with us here in a sec. Going to start in the US. The EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker is going to be meeting Donald Trump there later. Trade, of course, Stephen, very much on the agenda.
That's right, and the tone of this meeting really set on Twitter by Donald Trump, who said that tariffs had brought countries to Washington to negotiate. Jean-Claude Juncker will be trying to talk Donald Trump out of imposing tariffs on cars coming from the European Union. The EU has already retaliated against US levies on steel and aluminium. They imposed duties on $3 billion worth of American goods. That's Donald Trump's reactions there. And in a separate tweet, he said that the EU and the US should drop all barriers and subsidies. Said they are ready to do it, but the EU aren't.
Those talks coming after the US announced major help for farmers, in fact, who've been affected by the trade dispute with China.
They're getting $12 billion in aid. It's going to be spent supporting soy, pork and other farmers whose products have been hit by tariffs from China. Officials say the money is a one-off package to provide relief as the Trump administration continues to negotiate with its trading partners. But some farmers are unconvinced by the move. Peter O'Brien has the story.
In this Wisconsin farm, the Slattery family have nearly 300 acres of soybean and corn. Faced with the US government's escalating trade disputes, they're already planning to diversify their crop and could soon be getting a government handout. The Department of Agriculture has announced a $12 billion plan, which includes cash handouts to producers of goods such as soybean, wheat and dairy. They'll also implement a scheme to buy surplus produce that would have been exported were it not for import tariffs from countries like China. They're hoping this will cushion the blow from what they call illegal retaliation to Donald Trump's tariffs on a range of imported goods.
This is an election ploy, and we as farmers are playing the dupes again in this whole process. That's what concerns me.
Soybean futures prices have fallen by 16% since the end of May in response to the potential impact of Chinese tariffs, which the Department of Agriculture projects will slash US exports. Farm states form a crucial chunk of Donald Trump's support base, and he's keen to keep them on side.
They don't want to have those tariffs put on them. They're all coming to see us, and the farmers will be the biggest beneficiary. Watch. We're opening up markets. You watch what's going to happen. Just be a little patient. They're all aiming at anybody that likes me.
Some Republican senators who usually defend Trump worry aid might be needed in other sectors if the trade fight goes on.
Well, other markets will be keeping a close eye on that meeting of Jean-Claude Juncker and Donald Trump later on. In the meantime, European markets opening pretty flat at the start of the day. Deutsche Bank in Germany reported a drop in its net profits in their latest results, but they were better than expected. So shares just eking out some small gains at the open. But so far, the bank's shares are down by more than 30% since the start of the year. So nothing too impressive in there either. On the Asian markets, shares generally trading up in Tokyo and in Hong Kong, but the Shanghai Composite and the Kospi in Seoul both trading in the red.
Now, let's go back to the US for you. The president's daughter and advisor has announced that she's going to shut down her fashion brand, doesn't she?
Ivanka Trump says that she wants to focus on her work in Washington. She started the business more than 10 years ago, but it's faced several controversies, including a boycott from shoppers when her father was elected. The company says the decision to shut down has nothing to do with its financial performance, but some brand experts say that Ivanka's actions in the White House may not have helped the brand.
She never stood up for the kinds of things that the brand should have represented. When a brand has no meaning, it's difficult to get someone to spend $280 on a dress when they can go and get the same dress with no meaning for half the price.
Facebook is planning to open an office in China. It's setting up a technology hub in a province south of Shanghai, which it says will support local startups and developers. That's despite the social network being blocked in China since 2009. The company says it's spending time understanding and learning more about China.
And finally from Stephen, the smash hit musical Hamilton could soon be heading, apparently, for the big screen
That's according to reports in the Wall Street Journal, which says that representatives from the production have shown a recording of the show to interested buyers. Industry sources telling the paper the rights could sell for as much as $50 million. Now, the Rat musical has been a huge theatre hit, grossing nearly $400 million since it opened in New York in 2015. But again, according to the Wall Street Journal, the cinema version won't be a remake in the veins of Mamma Mia. Instead, it will be a recording of the stage show featuring the original Broadway cast from 2016. Coming to a big screen near you.
Yeah, I thought that never worked when they did that, but anyway, perhaps if you're a fan of the musical, you would buy it. Who knows? Thank you very much, Stephen. Stephen Carroll with Business on France 24. Going to have a look